Paris Saint-Germain has absolutely dismantled Chelsea in the Champions League. We've got the full breakdown of that stunning aggregate defeat, including every goal and every player's performance. But it's not just about the game on the pitch. Pundits are questioning why Chelsea legend John Terry isn't being given a more prominent senior role at the club. Is the club missing out on a valuable asset? And in a surprising turn of events, Chelsea handler is speaking out about a property she purchased from RFK Jr., and Cheryl Hines calling it a disaster and toxic. You won't believe the details. Finally, we're asking the tough questions. Who at Chelsea has the biggest lessons to learn after that humbling experience? Don't miss any of these explosive stories. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
PSG annihilates Chelsea in Champions League thriller. Chelsea's European dreams have been shattered, suffering a brutal 8-2 aggregate defeat to Paris Saint-Germain after a 3-0 rout at Stamford Bridge. The Parisians, who already held a commanding 5-2 lead from the first leg, showed no mercy, with Kvaratskhelia Kvaratskhelia and Bradley Barcola scoring within the first 15 minutes. Seny Meolu sealed the devastating victory in the second half, leaving Chelsea fans stunned and the stadium emptying before the final whistle. Manager Liam Rosenior, who took over in January, now faces immense pressure as Chelsea is eliminated from the League Cup and struggling outside the Premier League's top four. A tough night. We knew it was a difficult task, and yet we started the match the way we did, Rosenior admitted, reflecting on the team's inability to contain PSG's early onslaught. The goals came from costly errors, including a misjudgment by defender Mamadou Sarr, allowing Kvaratskhelia to score, and a swift counterattack that led to Barcola's decisive strike. The aggregate scoreline of 8-2 underscores a significant gulf in class, especially after Chelsea's Club World Cup final victory over PSG last summer. Fans are vocal about the team's performance, with many expressing disappointment and frustration online. Analysts are pointing to the club's strategy of investing heavily in young players, questioning if it's sufficient for top-tier European competition. The decisive nature of PSG's victory, coupled with Chelsea's struggles in domestic competitions, paints a grim picture for the club's immediate future. This stunning defeat raises serious questions about Chelsea's project. Next, we dive into the debate surrounding a club legend's role and what it means for Chelsea's future. Is Chelsea ignoring a legend? Pundits slam club's decision on John Terry. A storm is brewing among Chelsea fans and pundits alike, with many questioning the club's decision not to offer a senior role to club icon John Terry. Despite his legendary status and immense experience, Terry has only been involved in an academy capacity since retiring from playing. Pundit Darren Bent is leading the charge, calling the situation bizarre and emphasizing the wealth of knowledge and winning mentality Terry could bring to the first team. Bent argues that Terry's presence in the dressing room, particularly during tough matches like the recent PSG defeat, could have made a significant difference. Imagine Terry in the dressing room last night ahead of the PSG game and then again at halftime. There is no way we would have lost in the way we did. I am adamant about that, Bent stated. He believes Terry possesses a wealth of experience from his playing career, having represented top clubs and won numerous trophies, making his exclusion from the senior setup baffling. This sentiment is echoed by many Chelsea supporters who feel the club is overlooking a valuable asset who could inspire and guide the current squad. Fans are expressing their frustration on social media, with many feeling that the club's hierarchy is failing to capitalize on the legacy and leadership qualities of one of its greatest ever players. The debate highlights a potential disconnect between the club's management and its passionate fanbase, who yearn for figures with deep connections to Chelsea's history to be more involved. While Chelsea grapples with its on-field and off-field decisions, a surprising revelation emerges from Hollywood. Next, we uncover Chelsea handlers' disastrous property purchase involving RFK Jr. and Cheryl Hines. Chelsea handler bought a toxic house from RFK Jr. and Cheryl Hines and still can't live in it. Comedian Chelsea Handler has revealed a bizarre and frustrating real estate saga involving Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his wife, Cheryl Hines. Handler shared on her podcast, Dear Chelsea, that she purchased a Los Angeles home from the couple 5 years ago, but has been unable to move in due to severe issues, describing the property as a disaster and a toxic environment. The comedian explained that she bought the house indirectly through a trust and was unaware of the sellers' identities at the time. Upon acquiring the property, Handler was reportedly told by inspectors that the house was so compromised it would be unlivable for at least 2 years. When they opened up the house, they were like, "This house is the most toxic environment. You cannot live here for at least 2 years," Handler recounted. She expressed disbelief that someone in charge of national health could preside over such a poorly maintained property, citing issues with illegal structures and a general sense of disrepair. Handler even shared that multiple individuals have described the house as cursed, adding to the mystique and frustration surrounding her inability to occupy the home she paid $5.9 million for in 2021. The story has sparked considerable discussion online, with many finding the situation both amusing and concerning. Critics are using Handler's experience to question RFK Jr.'s judgment and suitability for his current role, while others are simply captivated by the unusual real estate drama involving prominent public figures. From property nightmares to on-field disasters, the focus shifts back to Chelsea FC. Next, we dissect who at Stamford Bridge must confront the harshest truths after their Champions League exit. Embarrassing defeat. Who faces the music at Chelsea after PSG humiliation? Following Chelsea's staggering 8-2 aggregate loss to Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League, European football expert Julian Lorenz has declared the club's frailties so exposed, and suggested it's time for a serious reevaluation of the entire project. The two-legged tie saw Chelsea suffer their joint heaviest aggregate defeat in European competition, highlighting significant weaknesses in the young squad assembled by Todd Boehly and Behdad Eghbali's Blue Co ownership. Lorenz, who witnessed the match at Stamford Bridge, described the atmosphere as tense and the performance as embarrassing, particularly criticizing manager Liam Rosnier's game plan and player substitutions. It was embarrassing, really. It was embarrassing for Rosnier to have got his game plan so wrong, to have got everything wrong really in his coaching from the first leg to the second leg, Lorenz stated on BBC Radio 5 Live Breakfast. He pointed out the controversial decision to substitute key players like Enzo Fernandez, João Pedro, and Cole Palmer while already trailing, which seemed to signal a surrender to the fans. The defensive vulnerabilities that have plagued Chelsea throughout the season were, according to Lorenz, glaringly obvious against PSG's potent attack, prompting questions about whether an emphasis on youth alone is sufficient for elite European success. The post-match analysis is intense, with fans and sports commentators debating whether the players, the manager, or even the ownership bears the most responsibility for the dismal performance. The sheer scale of the defeat has amplified calls for accountability and strategic changes within the club, as the project's long-term viability comes under scrutiny. That's a wrap on our top stories tonight, but we're not done yet. Coming up, a rapid-fire recap of all the drama and a call to action you won't want to miss. What a show! PSG dominated Chelsea. John Terry's senior role at the club is a hot topic. Chelsea Handler revealed a toxic house purchase, and we're asking who at Chelsea needs to learn the biggest lessons. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more breaking news and analysis, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and follow us on all social media platforms to stay connected. We'll see you next time.